second.
What? Raymond? Are you there?
Yes.
Sergeant Shaw.
Who is this?
Sergeant Raymond Shaw.
Yes.
Raymond Prentice Shaw.
Yes.
Listen. Go to the bedroom of your suite. Enter the hallway there. Go to the end and open the closet.
Hello, Raymond.
Hello.
Do you remember me?
No, sir, I don't.
Brilliant. We've got 20 minutes for a little check-up from the neck up, gentlemen, so if we could take his jacket, please sit down.
So I encourage you to get the Volume 2 book that we have, and the title to it's the Illuminati Formula Used to Create an Undetectable Total Mind-Controlled Slave. Now, how are they doing this? Well, they're using natural things, natural functions of the brain. Some of you have probably been driving along the road and you've been talking to your wife and just driven automatically. See, the mind can work in two different things. What you're doing is you're hypnotically trancing out on your driving. Maybe some of you have been driving and you went from point A to B and don't even remember driving. You just put yourself into self-hypnosis. There's different altered states that the mind can go into, and they're very familiar with these. The mind also has the ability to disassociate. You know, if you say, some people, if they say something that's wrong, and then you try to correct them later on, they say, well, no, I didn't say that. Their mind has to disassociate. Or you go on a trip and you remember the good things but forget the bad things. Okay, this is disassociation. The mind has a natural ability. Now, let's say that you're a soldier in a war, and this has been going on for thousands of years to soldiers in wars. Let's say your buddy, for instance, has his arm blown off and his guts are blown out, and it's a horrible sight. The mind protects itself, and if you look at it on a timeline, and at this point in time is that trauma, if the trauma is severe enough, what the mind does to protect itself, it builds amnesia walls around that trauma. Well, the Illuminati learned this a long time ago, and so what they do is they compartmentalize the mind. They take a small child and they just traumatize the heck out of it and split the mind and build all these amnesia walls between all these traumas. The worse the trauma, the better, because the better the trauma wall. So the most horrendous traumas you can possibly imagine are the ones that they want to use. When you splinter the mind up into many pieces of disassociated pieces, then you can go in and pull that piece up to the front of the mind, and you can construct out of that piece of memory whatever you want out of it. You remember that some people have said that the human mind is like a huge computer, and if you got all the computers of the world together, in some ways your mind would excel. You would be all of the computers in the world. You've got a fantastic computer here. Well, you know how a computer can section off memory. You know, when you turn on your computer, if you need to reboot it, it reboots out of memory that you can't get to. In order to make a functioning computer, the big hurdle that they had to jump over was to be able to create memory that you couldn't access. Well, that's what they're doing with the mind. They're splintering up your memory into thousands of little pieces. My co-author on a couple books on the mind control, her mind was split 30,000 ways. No, you take those pieces of the mind, yeah, tremendous amount of trauma. Think of the amount of trauma it takes to split the mind and then multiply that times 30,000 times. Tremendous amount of trauma all through these people's lives.
Yes.
Sergeant Shaw,
Who is this?
Sergeant Raymond Shaw,
Yes.
Raymond Prentice Shaw.
Yes.
Listen. Go to the bedroom of your suite. Enter the hallway there. Go to the end and open the closet.
Hello, Raymond.
Hello.
Do you remember me?
Because knowledge is our only defense against mind control. There's a small handful of criminals that are in control of our government and in control of our country.
I was taken to military bases. I was taken to Disneyland.
CIA contractors were brought in to build the underground tunnels under Disney World in 1977. These contractors were sworn to secrecy, but were only informed on a need-to-know basis why the CIA was involved with an amusement park.
And for the CIA, this is a call to action.
The director of Central Intelligence in April of 1953, Alan Dulles, gave a talk in which he said that we were in a battle for the control of men's minds, that's his term, and that we were losing the battle.
Dulles wastes no time in signing a secret executive order creating Project MK Ultra, the goal to leave no stone unturned in the area of mind and behavior control. An investigation reveals that the techniques used to brainwash a POW is a good old-fashioned combination of sensory deprivation, solitary confinement, and rigorous indoctrination. But there are suspicions, never proven, that more sophisticated mind control may have been at work, particularly after one reported event in the Chinese province of Manchuria.
When American prisoners of war were marched through Manchuria, they had experienced what was called blank periods. They had amnesia for what happened to them there.
Fears rise that the American POWs were hypnotized and may be programmed to perform acts against the United States, even programmed to assassinate. The idea of the Manchurian candidate is born.
Raymond Shaw, they made him kill somebody.
But it was another.
Private Robert Baker. That's who it was. It's a private, one of my soldiers. I think they made me kill somebody too. A kid named Eddie Ingram.
Private Ingram, stand up. A few steps, please. And if you could secure the door, please, Chris. Captain Marco, stand up. Raymond?
Yes, sir.
There's a gun on the cupboard. Would you please take it and give it to Captain Marco?
Yes, sir.
Here. Captain. Oh! Captain Marco, please shoot Private Ingram. Now, Raymond, suffocate Private Baker. Kill him.
So you take that piece and you can make that piece of the mind into anything you want. Now, let's say they take one piece and they show it films, and through the programming, they make it into a particular personality. Well, what they want to do is they want to make the most perfect front for their slave possible. And so they will test a slave, they will test a victim that they're going to make into a mind-controlled puppet. They'll test them when they're a small child.